Welcome to She Who Leads in Love, a podcast for women ready to live freely and do what they love. I'm your host, Ginny Gain. Together, we get to explore what it means to choose your truth over your conditioning, trust the energy of love over fear, and confidently step into the fullest expression of who you really are. It's time for your most extraordinary life experience. Let's create. Hello and welcome back to the show. Today we are going to talk about following the energy. I've had a couple different experiences in the past few weeks where it was just so obvious where the energy was guiding me, and it was kind of in a really weird ways. And so I wanted to share these with you. But first, what I am loving, we are in full swing with our RV renovation. And one of the things I love about it most, besides painting white walls to black, which is super fun and very satisfying to see that change, is how much I love working on a project, like having a shared vision with Lee and then both working on it and creating it together. It's one of my favorite things about being in a partnership is getting to feel that dynamic, and we're having fun and we're getting it done and we're creating our new home, and it just feels so fulfilling and connected and loving. And so I'm really appreciating that right now. So one of the stories starts on my way home from Colorado. It's a 3-day drive, 30-hour road trip. And normally when I'm doing any sort of road trip, I'll drive a day, I'll stay overnight, I'll drive a day, stay overnight. 3 days is usually kind of the most I like to do in a row like that before taking longer time off. And that's how I did it on the way out to Colorado. I spent 2 nights on the road. It was wonderful, easy peasy, enjoyable. On the way home, that was originally going to be my plan. And I was thinking about my drive. I hadn't booked anything. And I was like, I just don't really feel like I want to spend 2 nights on the road. I don't feel like I want to stay over. And my mind is like, Ginny, you can't drive 30 hours straight. That's crazy and stupid. And your body will not like that. And I'm like, I hear you, mind, but I feel like I want to drive through the night. There was this energy of, there was just energy. It didn't feel like I wanted to stop. There was energy to keep going and going. And so I said to myself, okay, well, let's just play this out. Let's follow the energy. If you get too tired, if your body gets too sore, you can stop. No problem. And so I headed out on my road trip, and I just really listened to my body. What was going on? When did it need to stop? When did it need to move or rest? And you guys, I drove all the way home. I did not stop or stay overnight. Now, of course, I stopped for fuel. I stopped for food. I stopped a few times for a few hours to just sleep and rest. You know, the last couple hours, I was pretty tired. I was going to get home on a Friday night, and I was very looking forward to it. But there was it wasn't as hard as my mind thought it would be. It was not as hard as I thought it would be. I just had the energy. And if I ever got tired, I just pulled over and slept. And I was getting home, and Katie was kind of messaging me saying like, oh, I wonder how you're going to feel in the next few days. And I was really interested in this too, because there was a time a couple of years ago where I was driving home to Canada, and I drove for 17 hours straight. And that was so hard on my body. I remember getting home the next day and having to recover for like 3 days. I was really low energy and I slept a lot. And I knew, and my body was so sore. And I knew it was because I drove too long at that time. And so I was really interested. And I have to say, I got home, I had a full night's sleep. I woke up the next morning. I felt like a tiny bit hungover in the morning. And the rest of the whole weekend, I was totally fine. I had no, jet lag or driving lag, whatever you might call it, from that trip. And I just knew it was because for whatever reason, I was following the energy, and there was more, the energy was guiding me to just keep going. And this is something I've been really paying attention to, especially with work and wanting to find that balance of creativity and all the energy and going into action and the honoring the rest and the off and the slower pace as well. And this was probably one of the clearest examples I've had actually listening and following the energy and having the outcome being something that also felt really good when I think that would have taken a lot of extra energy from my body and it didn't really have any negative effect. So I wanted to talk about this because we have been taught to schedule our energy. What if we were built to follow it? Right? So somewhere along the way, we learned that our physical body energy is like on a budget. We allocate it in advance. We know what things are going to cost us. We spend according to the plan. And if we run out of energy, too early, then there's this judgment of we're not doing good or it's a failure. We have bedtimes at set hours and productive hours from here to here, and then rest is our reward at the end of the day. Now, none of that schedule came from our bodies, came from our intuition. Of course, some of it comes from the studies of this is how, a human, circadian rhythms and things like that. And I'm all about that. Also, I love like the routine and having your sleeping time, but realizing as well, it's not so black and white, because underneath this schedule that fits society's preferences of the 9 to 5, sleep here, be awake here, be creative here, be off here, there's so much more intelligence speaking to us. So there's actually, I know we learn about the 5 senses, but there's actually this 6th sense that we don't talk about a lot. Interoception, okay? The brain's continuous read of what's happening inside us. This is our heart rate, our breath, our gut temperature, how much energy is actually available right now. The insula, which is a region of the brain, does most of this work, and it never stops running like so many of our amazing things in our body. And this is what's so interesting. People with higher interoceptive accuracy, the ones that are more finely tuned to their own internal signals, they tend to make better intuitive decisions and regulate emotion more easily. And doesn't this make so much sense? The more we are aware of what's going on in our body, the more self-awareness we have, the more we're listening, the more in tune we are to that information that's always speaking to us. So sometimes the idea that stuff is woo-woo is it's actually our perceptual system. We have an actual sense organ for our own energy, our own aliveness, but most of us have spent decades overriding it with our calendar, with the ideas that we've accepted of how our energy should be or how we should be at a certain time in a certain place. Because the idea of we eat off the clock often instead of when we're hungry. We sleep by the clock often instead of tiredness. We push through a lot of energy instead of taking that pause. And every override of that is this small little way we're teaching ourselves that the signal doesn't count. The information that our body is giving us, which is divine information, it is not as important. Okay, so let's talk about when we are feeling fatigue. This is often the place where the most judgment or resistance comes in, the place where we are overriding the most when those signals of fatigue are coming in, because we've somehow learned that lack of energy means we're not good or we're not working hard or all the things. Fatigue is your protective signal. It's signaling you something. You are the only one that knows what it is. But it's not the absence of capacity, okay? It's the body regulating the output before something gets damaged, okay? It's information and it's arriving on time. your relationship with your tiredness or your fatigue and how you respond to it, it's so reflective of how you are in relationship with yourself and how you're treating yourself. And when we talk about burnout, yes, there's that physical component from working too hard, but the greatest harm actually comes from overriding, right? It comes from this practice of you're receiving a signal and then deciding it doesn't apply to me. I saw these quotes on Instagram the other day. Carl Jung saying, exhaustion doesn't always come from doing too much. It can come from doing what isn't right for you. That's alignment, right? Another one I love is Irvin Yalom. Fatigue can be a quiet signal that your life is asking for honesty, alignment, right? Nancy McWilliams says, exhaustion can be the cost of constant self-control. Suppressing anger, sadness, or a need to stay good drains energy. So all of this is pointing towards honoring the low, honoring the fatigue, and honoring the surge of energy. And the honoring of these two is the same thing. It's the same muscle. It's the same listening. It's just that our mind has been trained to like one more, to prefer one more. But imagine you felt as good about rest as you do about the creative flow and getting something done. Just really let yourself feel that for a moment, that resting felt as productive, as nourishing, as good for you as getting the thing done or accomplishing this or running the marathon, whatever it might be. Okay, we love the idea of following our energy when it matches what society deems as, good, or much less interested when it means canceling an event or not going somewhere or taking a longer time to accomplish something, which is exactly what happened on that first road trip where I tried to drive too long. Is my mind was saying, I got to get there, I got to get there. It was running the show and I overrode my internal signals of, oh, hey, you need to rest now. And then I paid for it, right? The next few days, my body had to recover from that. And that is often what will happen. And I mean, burnout, right? When we override and when we push, then there's the fallout. So really learning, and it's learning this, like there's a journey in learning to pay attention to these signals and practicing, oh, hey, I think this is this. Let me just try to slow down a little bit and to find my own natural rhythm with my energy. The other cool thing about this is the body actually, like the dopamine response in your body when you're taking action that is aligned. So when you are genuinely doing something you genuinely want to do, the dopamine actually acts differently. It's not just this like reward at the end. It's more consistent and it changes the way the effort feels along the way. It's almost like it changes what the effort costs on the way through. And the point I love about this is we talk about like the philosophy of aligned action, how that feels different. But when we get into the body, when you are taking action that's in alignment for you, you want to do it, your body literally opens up access to operate in a different way. It opens up to receive more of your own energy and changes how that energy is received by you. Which, oh my God, co-creation at its best between you and your body. It just feels like energy is everything. Like when you have energy for the things you love to do, that's so essential and so foundational to living this full, aligned, extraordinary life. So the shift that's available to us feels like so much from the I'm going to make you do this and I have these expectations of you body, and if you don't perform, then it means you're not good and you're not doing well, to ooh, what if I step back and I let the information that you're receiving, because you're a divinely connected vessel, what if I start paying attention, using my interoception, listening to what is going on with you, and making that more important than what my mind has learned is right or wrong? And what if I didn't try to manage you so much and I more so worked with you? It's almost this invitation to stop relating to our body as a machine and more as this intelligence that's already reading and interpreting the situation and assessing what energy is available for what. That is so essential to us learning to follow the energy. So the energy isn't the reward for doing it right. Okay, the energy is the actual guidance. It's going to show up before the reasoning does. So your energy, when you're paying attention, is going to be there before your brain pops in with all the meaning. It's going to guide you, which kind of means this question changes, right? Not how do I get more energy for what I've decided is the right path to do, but what is my energy already telling me? Where is my energy guiding me right now? And this shift in perception and how you approach your days and your tasks is so powerful. Okay, it's the difference between forcing your way towards a life and aligning with one and allowing one to unfold. Now, I said I had two stories. I don't want to forget to tell you this one because it was really challenged my mind. Like I said, we're in the middle of RV renovations, and there was one morning last week where both Lee and I woke up about 2 a.m. and we were both just wide awake. And so we had a very early morning and we're like, well, okay, I guess we just get started early. And we were out in the RV. This was the first time we were doing some painting with the cabinets, and I'm pretty sure we had everything we needed to get painted done by like 9 a.m. And we had in our minds planned, oh, this is a work day, like this is a work day for on the RV. And it was so fun. It was just very fun. We watched the sunrise come up. Nobody was awake. It was all, we were in our own little world. And we had the energy for it. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, we can always go home and take a nap. And that's totally fine. We have the space for that. But it was just super weird to be awake so early and have so much energy, and both of us. And I just trust, again, there was no fallout. I don't even actually think we had a nap that day. We just went to bed again at the normal time. So there's something about this energy guiding you to help you take the most aligned actions. And the more we listen, the more we honor all of the ups and downs that we're feeling, that we're experiencing in front of, like prioritize what's happening in your body with your energy before the ideas of this needs to get done then. So it really feels like there's this beautiful opportunity for us to pay attention to when we are overriding the energy or the guidance that's coming from our body, our divinely intelligent body, and to use that sense of interoception, go inside and connect with what is my body telling me, what is my energy saying right now, and listen and honor it so that we can find our own rhythm and that we can be open to a path that is greater than we can define or even know with our mind by following where the energy is guiding us. So it really takes this willingness to, this is the way my mind sees it. I shouldn't I should go back to bed at 2 a.m. or I should not be driving through the night, and say, but what if there's something better for me than that idea that's actually more aligned? And so I really wanted to share this with you guys, these stories, just to open up this idea that the way it's always been with your energy maybe isn't the best way for you in a moment. So just pay attention, play with am I actually tired right now? Am I actually hungry right now? Do I want slow movement for exercise? Do I want something more intense? Like, what is my body telling me? How is my body guiding me right now? Because even though we've been taught to schedule our energy and have these expectations around how it should be, we are literally made to follow it. And there is so much intelligence and there's so much inspiration and flow available to you as you start to honor your energy. Okay, that's all for this episode. I will see you next time. And remember, you are a powerful creator and you have always got this.